What up, y'all? Uncle Shady at the mic. Uh, so over the years, um, going through everything I went through back in the day, and over the years, I'd make joke, like I started seeing kids, I started that whole, like, started the hipster thing, like I started. And what up, y'all? So that's a video you should watch if you haven't yet. It's pretty dope. Finn McKenty's a beast. He's a little silly about certain things, but he definitely does his research. Anyway, so something I I thought of the other day, I thought you guys might be interested in is before I left, we recorded every song we had. I think it was like 6 songs. We recorded over again in Dr. Dre's studio when we were with Interscope Universal. They were giving us the dog and pony show, basically getting us to trying to convince us to sign with them because we were like the biggest band on the internet for no reason. What up, Luther? It was like Atlantic Records, and there were a bunch of record labels grooming us, and the Interscope, in order to prove how beast they are, took us to Dr. Dre's studio, and we re-recorded the first 5 or 6 songs, I think. And it was weird, though. Something I remembered when we met with Interscope, the power in the building went out. And we met with Atlantic, and the power in the building went out. And then we went to go record at Dr. Dre's studio, and the power in the power in the building went out. It was freaking me out. I was like, it was kind of funny, weird thing that happened. But anyway, we recorded all those songs over again, and we listened to them back, and they just weren't as good. They were missing the rawness of just like us on the fly recording these songs at Aaron's house and at Jarrell's house, just kind of drinking 40s, eating Subway sandwiches, and messing around. Once we were put into a situation, a professional situation with professional recording studio and stuff like that, the song just like lacked a rawness. It was like too clean. But those recordings exist, guys. I know you guys are like super amped on finding recordings from back in the day. Those recordings exist. Jarrell has those recordings. Aaron has those. Almost everyone probably from back then has those recordings that at least kept a hard drive. But I'm sure Jarrell does. Jarrell also has my version of My Black Dahlia with me on it. Yeah, so those exist. They weren't as good, and they aren't as good. But I believe we actually released them for a little bit. But it wasn't. They lacked. They just weren't as good. But anyway, I just thought you guys might want to know about that, because I know you guys like researching and trying to get those boys to give up some of those early recordings. It was a funny story. I remember there's also Jordan has video footage. I don't know if they ever released any of the early footage of us. There's a recording of us rehearsing for the first, second, third, maybe time. There's a recording of us filming at with Dr. Dre's people at Interscope. There's a really funny recording where they were having me do a part, but it was like a belch or something, like it was like a burp. I don't remember exactly. Wait, I think it was some sort of burp in some song. I don't remember. Maybe there's a song I'm burping in it, but they kept having me do it over and over again. The guy, the producer, kept having me do it over again, and they were filming it and they were all cracking up, but I couldn't hear them because I'm in the sound booth, and they kept having me do it over and over and over and over again. And I was like, what in the fuck is this guy getting after? Because like you go in the studio and producer will make you do something 20 times before he likes it, but this was just like a burp. It was pretty funny. But I'm trying to remember anything else funny about that time. That was a very surreal time. We were being taken out and hard sold, basically like the A&R team from Atlantic Records took us out and like got us bottle service at the clubs and like had these girls come hang out. Like they try very hard to sign you when you're as big, when you have a buzz like we had back then. They straight us like got us drunk and like lorded over us, like sat us all down and stood above us and said, "You guys have to," like they put us through some serious psychological torment because you don't know what to do. During those times, you don't know what to do. You're just a kid. You don't know what to sign, what not to sign. Almost everyone makes mistakes getting into that industry, and we made a lot of mistakes. So it was a wild time, but we pretty much signed everything, whatever got us the money quick enough, which is the last thing you want to do when you're a musician. You want to hold out, but we were all broke as so yeah. What's your favorite memory of being in Hollywood Undead, Jeff? Ooh, that I don't know. Maybe MySpace Festival, getting up on stage in front of like a shitload of people. The ride up the elevator to Interscope Records to meet Jimmy Iovine, that was pretty surreal. Getting a shitload of money was pretty cool, although we spent it all in a couple months. I don't know. I had quite the rock star life going for me before I was in Hollywood Undead. So it was just a constant, I had fun for 10 years straight in Hollywood. But anyway, seeing if there's any more questions. Do you still talk to some of the guys or no? I'll hit up Jarrell every once in a while. That's my boy. Play the recordings. I don't have them. Are you kidding? Am I still friends with the Osbournes? Not. I haven't seen Kelly in a while. I saw her on a video the other day. Hardly recognized her. But yeah. Oh yeah, that was about it. I just remembered that things pop up sometimes, and I know you guys like hearing about old times in the early days of Hollywood Undead. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Uncle Shady out. Peace.